the water and the head of a monster appeared on the surface. He saw the statue of a mermaid and realized that this was their sworn enemy. The Titan went under the water and swam towards the ships. The monster decided that the mermaid was all alone and he needed to be killed. The guests celebrated carefree, and at this time the monster was approaching them. The waves crashed against the ship. The nobles were having fun and drinking, and Xavier sat with a glass and thoughtfully looked into the distance. He brought the drink to his lips, but suddenly felt a vibration and frowned. The knight looked overboard at the sea surface. The protagonist approached him and asked why he was sitting there like a statue. He corrected himself that he did not mean a beautiful statue. The swordsman, without turning around, said that there was something there. The young man looked at his interlocutor carefully and asked again. Xavier said that it was something incredibly fast. The aristocrat asked how big it was. The interlocutor answered that it was about twice as big as this ship, slightly bigger than a full-size hippo. Lloyd frowned and, clenching his teeth, cursed. A monster was approaching them. The young man made his way through the crowd to the count. The man smiled and asked how he was enjoying the party. The brown-haired man came closer and whispered that it seemed like a mega-titan was approaching, and that they needed to warn the others and evacuate the people. The feudal lord looked at his warrior named Ginnivan and asked if he felt any unusual movements in the water. The man looked carefully at the water surface and, bowing, replied that he felt nothing. Primo turned to the hero and said that Ginnivan had excellent intuition and even suffered from swordmaster syndrome, so he could be trusted. The young man sweated and thought that Xavier was more sensitive, and he was the main character here. The man smiled and asked not to worry, because no Mega-Titan had ever swum so far, there was no reason to attack. Lloyd frowned and replied that there seemed to be. They looked at the statue. The count sweated and looked at the young man. He nodded decisively. By this time, Xavier had already approached them. Ginnivan looked at the gentleman and said that he did not know what made the guys think so, but according to his feeling, there was no threat. Primo put out his hand and loudly ordered to raise the anchor and take the ship as far away from the statue as possible.